Good morning, students. Today we will discuss measurement of foreign exchange exposure. When a firm has primarily assets and liabilities with contractually fixed returns such as receivables, loans, bonds, and similar instruments, exposure analysis is relatively straightforward. In case of non-financial business firms, the problem is much more complex as the core assets of such firms such as inventories, plants and equipment do not have contractually fixed returns. But all foreign exchange rate changes are not relevant. The expected returns may well be significantly affected by the exchange rate changes and therefore affect firm's value. As foreign exchange markets price expected changes in forward rates and interest rate differences, it is unexpected deviations from the expected rate that really matters. Firm should check, is there causal effect of unexpected exchange rate change on profitability and value of firm. Then it should measure its exposure to risk value at risk. Next is VAR. VAR can be defined as the maximum loss on a portfolio over a standardized period of time, usually a day, that would result from an adverse market movement expected to occur once in a longer period of time, usually 100 days, within a confidence interval, usually 99%. It can be seen as estimated change from present price of an instrument or a portfolio until the point at which it could be liquidated. The VAR methodology views a firm as a giant portfolio and produces a single currency denominated figure. It indicates the risk across many financial instruments and markets over a firm-wide level, avoiding overestimation problem caused by partial analysis. It provides a tool for establishing meaningful risk limits on market activities and for assessing performance. It enables management to calculate the likely currency denominated maximum loss for a certain period, and the figure is expressed in terms of confidence level. A confidence interval of 99% means that the risk manager can define the maximum loss at 99% probability. Steps in value at risk. First of all, price data relating to the components of a portfolio are collected for a chosen observation period. Then we calculate standard deviation of asset prices and correlation between asset price movements. Then estimate an interval for the value of portfolio in response to changes in the price of its components with a certain probability. Then find out distribution of values for losses or gains that would occur if current positions were held for a specified holding period. Then apply confidence interval to the distribution to assess value at risk. Shortcomings of VAR technique. Historical volatilities and correlation may not be representative of future ones. Lack of liquidity of some instrument is not taken into account. Confidence interval are only statistical assumptions. A firm may lose even more than value at risk. Here lies non-linearity of risk associated with derivatives with embedded option features. It cannot be rigidly interpreted. Personal judgment is needed to interpret the information. Firm needs to make more realistic evaluation of what to hold in future. Measurement of transaction exposure. Transaction exposure materializes when and as soon as a contractual obligation arises in a currency other than the reporting currency. means booking of a transaction at one rate of exchange, whereas the eventual receipt and payment of cash comes in at different rate of exchange. The exposure may well not appear immediately or even in the accounting records. It is short-term exposure. Measurement of transaction exposure. The increase in volatility of all currencies has made transaction exposure very dangerous. It is comparatively easy to identify because it is specified and discrete, being linked with individual items of business. It arises on cash movements, including dividends and interest, as well as sales and purchases, and affects the profit and loss account in a direct way. It is by its nature of uncertain timing, and its cover should not be considered in static or item by item manner. Measurement of transaction exposure. The exposure is an ongoing, as business is ever evolving, changing day by day or even hour by hour. As orders are placed, payables are paid, receivables received or cover taken. It is more efficiently covered by taking a broader, overall and forward-looking view. That is why companies usually try to determine the net amount of inflows and outflows in each currency and determine the overall exposure to those currency. It can be calculated as foreign currency inflows minus foreign currency outflows into expected exchange rate. Pre-transactional exposure also occur before a transaction has taken place at the time of tendering. Measurement of translation exposure. Translation exposure is the risk of net worth of a company changing because of fluctuating home valuation of assets and liabilities denominated in foreign currencies. It arises at the time of preparation of consolidated financial statements of parent company when financial statements of overseas subsidiaries are being translated from foreign currency to home currency of parent company. Assets and liabilities that are translated at current exchange rate are considered to be exposed to exchange rate fluctuations. Measurement of translation exposure. The items that are translated at historical rate are not exposed. Translation exposure is the difference between exposed assets and exposed liabilities. A greater amount of exposed assets than liabilities will give rise to a positive exposure, while a greater amount of liabilities than assets will give rise to a negative exposure. The amount of translation exposure depends on the degree of foreign involvement of an MNC overseas subsidiaries, the location of these foreign subsidiaries, and the correlation between that currency and the home currency, and also on the method of accounting used for the purpose of translation. Controversies among accountants center on which assets and liabilities are exposed and on when accounting derived foreign exchange gains and losses should be recognized. Measurement of economic exposure. Economic exposure is the extent to which the value of company as measured by the present value of its expected cash flows will change when exchange rate changes. Steps in measuring economic exposure. First of all, the firm must project its cost and revenue streams over a planning horizon that represents the period during which the firm is locked in or constrained from reacting to unexpected exchange rate changes. Then it must assess the impact of deviation of actual exchange rate from the rate which is being used for projection of cost and revenues. Sensitivity analysis is called for with respect to the impact of unexpected exchange rate changes. Subsequently, the effect on the various cash flows of the firm must be netted over product lines and markets to account for diversification effect, where gains and losses could be cancelled out, wholly or in part. The remaining net loss or gain is the focus of economic exposure management. In fact, exchange rate exposure varies widely depending on the nature of foreign activities. Exposure varies from large positive net exposure of exporting firms to large negative net exposure of importing firms. An MNC has shielded itself from most of its exposure by offsetting foreign currency cost through locating plants abroad. Export-oriented firms have very large positive exposure in case of home currency depreciation, since their foreign currency revenue exceed their foreign currency expenses. On the other hand, when home currency depreciate, net importers with foreign currency payments more than foreign currency receipts have large negative exposure. Foreign exchange exposure is quite low for those firms who have been able to match their foreign currency revenues and cost quite effectively. Operational hedging has helped them in reducing their exposure to modest levels. Thank you.